Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Toyscapades channel in Malaysia. So just one day after my video went up on the channel of the half-body teaser image of Whiplash that originally turned up online, we now get this, a fully charged, epically green, full-bodied shot of him. And as expected, he's looking pretty fine. Now, Mattel has generously treated all of us to several different sides and views of this hybrid reptilian monster who's now able to move in ways that a Whiplash figure of this scale never could before. But for me at least, there was a moment of complete shock in finding out that his tail is not actually one whole sculpted piece with articulated joints like I was hoping for, but instead it's one separate piece that you can remove and attach onto his body. So essentially it's just something that you strap onto him. So if you were to look at the photo that Mattel has provided of the back of the Whiplash figure, you can remove the tail at this spot right here in the middle. And I guess you're left with a top section that looks like a backpack. Now, I received some interesting feedback from some followers saying that they had successfully removed the tail section from the original vintage Whiplash figure in the past. As you can see, the tail has these sections here that fit into the back of the figure, and apparently with some effort you can sort of like pull this thing out, and that's what some followers have done. They've removed it and reattached it back, though I can't imagine the process was convenient. And nor was this an actual advertised feature of the toy, right? So there was actually no reason to do it in that instance. And in fact, you might even damage the figure as a result. But with the new figure, the tail section is proudly removable. And I'm not sure if this means that we still get the tail thrashing feature that the original had. At this point, we don't know if the tail is solid or made of rubber or even bendy plastic. But with the tail removed, I guess Whiplash can hold it as a weapon of some kind, and then he could just regrow a new tail like a real lizard does. One of the things with the vintage Whiplash figure that I never liked was the fact that the underside of the tail was just hollow, and it looked really cheap. With the new tail, they filled it up entirely, so it's a full piece, and that alone is a huge improvement. Now, in the last video as well, I did see a lot of comments that were touching on Whiplash's odd middle tooth that looks like it was growing out of his nose. Well, I guess that this is just a character quirk that they've retained from the vintage figure. As you can see, there's just a very fine line between where his nose ends and his upper lip and mouth begins. Still, even if he does have a giant tooth that's growing out of his nose, I guess being a mutant creature hybrid, he might be able to get away with it. Okay, so what do you guys think of the very latest images we're seeing here of Whiplash? Sound off in the comments section below. I want to hear from you guys. And have a great weekend ahead. Thank you and take care.